A Slovene wreath your poet has entwined. Of 15 sonnets is the chaplet bound, and in it thrice the master theme must sound. Thus are the other harmonies combined. Now from his source, like streams in order wind the sonnets, and the head of each is found by the last line of the last sonnet crowned. This is a semblance of your poet's mind. From one love all my thoughts arise, and lo, whene'er I sleep at night, they cease to flow, but stir when darkness flees before dawn's rays. You are the master theme of my whole life, which will be heard when I have ceased my strife, a record of my pain and of your praise. A record of my pain and of your praise will this be to Slovenes as yet unborn, when moths shall grow upon my tomb forlorn, and over all that grieves me and dismays. And haughty maids with beauty to amaze like yours, on hearing these my strains, will scorn to lock their hearts in armour. They'll adorn their love with faithful thoughts and faithful ways. For all Slovenes will then dawn bright days, and kindlier stars upon their land will gaze. More brilliant songs will come with better times. That my songs, too, with sweetly flowing rhymes, may still survive the future's changing phase, since from my heart's deep roots have sprung these lays. Since from my heart's deep roots have sprung these lays, a heart not to be silenced any more. Now I am like to Tasso, who of yore would sing his Leonora's fame and praise. He could not plead his love, whose tortuous maze bemused his years of youth, and fiercely tore his life beyond all hope. And yet he bore the burden he revealed in secret phrase. My passion is a flame, although I find your glance gives me no hope when you are near. Lest I offend, my lips are sealed by fear. My poor heart's fate, so bitter and unkind, my secret burden, all this they make dear. These tear-stained flowers of a poet's mind. These tear-stained flowers of a poet's mind, cut from my bosom, laid wholly bare. My heart's a garden. Love is sowing there sad elegies, each with my Lord inside. You are their sun, whose radiance blind I seek in vain at home and everywhere, in theatre, on promenade and square, midst revels where the chains of dances wind. How often through the town with watchful eyes I wander, praying for a fate more kind, yet catch no glimpse of that illusive prize. I shed my tears to loneliness confined. Hence all these songs which from my love arise, they come from where no man can sunshine find. They come from where no man can sunshine find, not from those regions by your glance caressed, where all the cares of this world are at rest, and sweet oblivion follows close behind, where joy reigns with a fullness scarce divined, and vanished are the conflicts that distressed, where song springs from an overflowing breast with sweetest harmonies of every kind, where nursed by pure love grow the fairest flowers, luxuriant in beauty and in grace, as though kissed by the breath of vernal hours. My songs that praise you come from no such place. They grew untouched by any friendly powers, unblessed by soothing winds of warmer days. Unblessed by southern winds or warmer days, my songs remain, since from you, haughty maid, they never won the word that might be sad, the word that neither saddens nor dismays. As you were bred upon the German phrase, like many a Slovene girl, they were afraid that from such flowers on our Parnassus laid with cold disdain, you would avert your gaze. Our muses were not loved in our own land. They were but spinsters doomed to lonely ways, while foreign beauties won both heart and hand. Like flowers that bud within the glacier's maze, our songs are sparse, as though by nature bad. Above them savage peaks the mountains raise. Above them savage peaks the mountains raise, like those which once were charmed by the refrain of Orpheus, when his lyre stirred hill and plain, and humus crags, and the wild folk of Thrace. Ah, would to cure the dearth of these our days, and Orpheus dowered with song of native strain, were sent to us, that old Slovenes might gain fresh fire, to set their frozen hearts ablaze. His words might kindle thoughts that would remind us of a lost pride of race. Discord would cease. Our people, in one nation that combined, would see that feuds no longer did increase. His strains would bring the rule of joy and peace, where tempests roar and nature is unkind. Where tempests roar and nature is unkind. Such was our land since summer's rule had passed with summer's spirit. Now an icy blast sweeps o'er his grave, raft from the nation's mind. Our fathers' bickerings let Pepin bind his yoke upon us. Then came thick and fast blood-stained revolts and wars, the Turk at last. With woes our history is deeply lined. Our age of glory needs must disappear when deeds of valor ceased in our past state, and triumphs that our songs could celebrate. The flowers on our Parnassus shyly rear their heads, the flowers that have been spared by fate. They were all fed on many a plaint and tear. They were all fed on many a plaint and tear, the humble blooms on my Parnassus grown. My tears of love flowed not for you alone, but also for the land I held so dear. My soul was filled with bitterness and fear, at love so scant to a trusting mother shown. The thought that no more love from you I've known torments and tears me like a wound severe. All the reward I wished for was that you with me a poet's timeless fame might share, that native songs our poignant tale might bear, that all Slovenes should awaken, and that true content and joy might come. Despite my care, frail growth these blossoms had, so sad and few. Frail growth these blossoms had, so sad and few, as when on some warm February day another rose unfolds her petals gay, enjoying for a space the sun and dew, but bends her stricken head as soon as dew storm-driven mists come, and with icy spray the hoar-frost falls from skies grown cold and grey, while hill and dale are decked in snowy hue. Thus did your beauty sun upon me smile, a radiance I would search for and pursue to warm the petals of my love awhile. But false that sunshine proved. Then they must strew their error in a frost not could beguile, as over them malignant storm clouds flew. As over them malignant storm clouds flew, The poet's days were but disgust, despair. By all the furious heart, he nowhere could find release, nor any rest in you. Once in Diana's shrine, Orestes too had eased his weary soul from all its care. So I, from my love's shrine, had hoped to bear away a heartened mind, appeased by you. Such fleeting dreams were quick to disappear. No sooner on my eyes had flashed the light of every hope than blacker was the night. Since then, my heart has been both dark and drear. How could the verses sprung from it be bright? Behold, how weak and faded they appear. Behold, how weak and faded they appear. They have no strength or beauty. Thus the pale untended roses in some lonely vale midst ruins their sparse heads with sadness rear. Weeds stifle them, rank nettles interfere, and scourges pests their fragile roots assail. Transplanted to a garden, although frail, they'll bloom again and gladden with their cheer. If my poetic flowers in sunlight grew, they'd live again and freshly thrive erelong for you, their queen, these blossoms of my song. To make them more resplendent than, imbue their jaded forms with life both fresh and strong. Send but your rays their glory to renew. Send but your rays their glory to renew, and let me not look for dawn's light in vain in your dear face, to hold back night's domain and calm the wildest storms that ever blew. For with the load of heavy cares I knew, their fetters will be loosened, chain by chain, and all the wounds they caused that still remain with gentle soothing will be healed by you. The cloud then from my frowning brow shall clear. Within me hope will shine and thrive once more, and from my lips sweet words again shall pour. My heart no longer shall remain austere, and from the inspiration in its store fresh flowers will spread fragrance far and near. Fresh flowers will spread fragrance far and near, like roses when the winter's passed away, and spring displays its marvelous array, while through the trees white scattered blossoms peer. The bees hum in the air, sun-drenched and clear. The shepherds up by golden break of day, loud trills the nightingale on many a spray. All nature is aglow with a joyful cheer. I know I scarce deserve such bliss. My mind is full of dread that you may still disdain these poems or be vexed by them again. Let them at least some little favour find with you. To ease by it his bitter pain, a Slovene wreath your poet has entwined. A Slovene wreath your poet has entwined, a record of my pain and of your praise. Since from my heart's deep roots have sprung these lays, these tear-stained flowers of a poet's mind. They come from where no man can sunshine find, unblessed by soothing winds of warmer days. Above them savage peaks the mountains raise, where tempests roar and nature is unkind. They were all fed on many a plaint and tear. Frail growth these blossoms had, so sad and few, as over them malignant storm clouds flew. Behold, how weak and faded they appear. Send but your rays their glory to renew. Fresh flowers will spread fragrance far and near. He who from fate receives but blow on blow, who like myself in her disfavour stands, although he had 100 mighty hands, would vainly strive for riches here below. His paths are strewn with thorns where he goes, and where he looks for home, there soon expands a sea of woes. Against its stormy strands, waves roll and splash in unremitting flow. The student tossed about by care, by need, he finds no peace from worries on his road, though to the farthest place his search may lead, and only in the quiet, cold abode, which after weary lifespan is decreed, will death relieve him of his toilsome load. Mid wastes of Africa a wanderer spanned. He found no pathway. Night was now a field. Through clouds no stealthy glimmer was revealed. Craving the moon, he made the grass his bed. The heavens opened, moonbeams then were shed. He sees where poison serpents are concealed, and where their brittle combs the tiger's shield. He sees the lion upraise his wrathful head. Thus 'tis the want of youth before to view what now befalls. So long the veil yet drapes the future from the road he would pursue. Clearer has drowned the night, and from it gapes loathing of life, of pangs and griefs not few, the deep abyss from which none e'er escapes. O'er thee, misfortune, I have ceased to wail. I'll utter no reproaches any more. Thank God, I'm used to griefs thou hast in store, and to the sufferings in life's strong jail. No burden can now hurt my shoulders frail. My lips are used to bitter drinks of yore. My feet, like leather, are no longer sore. I dread no thorny path, no irksome trail. Stiff are my limbs and joints as if confined. My heart, once sensitive, is hard as stone. The claims of sorrow have subdued my mind. All fear is fled. With it all hopes have flown. Should fate caress or beat me, it will find insensibility of flesh and bone. O Verba, happy village, my old home. My fondest cottage stands there to this day. The lure of learning beckoned me away, its serpent wiles enticing me to roam. Else had I never known that heart's joy, sweet promise, could become a poisoned draught, not known myself, of self-belief bereft, tossed in eternal tempests like a toy. A dowry riches never could surpass a faithful heart. A hand that's made for work would have come with a chosen country lass. Serenely onward would have sailed my bark, my house from fire, my corn from hailstorm loss, safeguarded by my neighbor near, Saint Mark.